secret, is you don't merge until the end. It's like a zipper. If you merge before, it messes up the zipper, like this guy. Oh, what's up everybody? It's Jeremy here and I'm ocean bound, and it's so exciting to be talking to you from this side of the Cape Cod Canal. What do we got going on today? Heading to West Dennis Beach. It's blowing 13 right now and it's supposed to ramp up a little bit into the afternoon. My goal is to demo some larger wings. I need a new 7 or 8 meter, a light wind wing, and I have some options that I've been thinking of. The Strike CWC. I was gonna go down to a 7 meter this year, but everyone is saying that they are riding smaller than they've ever ridden before, and that's a bummer. The thing with my 5.5 meter CWC is it's a lot different, and the light wind especially, the pumping and whatnot is a lot different. I've only seen a couple reviews on the internet of people saying that the power is just totally less than the V1 or the V2. So that's a little disturbing to me, but I think with the tighter canopy and the right technique, I feel like it could be good. Why would they kill their light wind machine's ability to go up light wind by anything? It just doesn't really make any sense. And so if they're gonna go with the tighter canopy, you think it would make it better. So fast forward to Phil, my wing dealer, has been talking to me about the Cabrinha Vision, and it's a 7 meter, and he thinks that one's excellent. So ultimately, I'll be doing a back-to-back today, or at least I'll be trying the Vision, but I really want to try this Strike CWC. You know, the other thing I'm kind of interested, I don't know if any of you guys have seen, Duotone has released a large wing with struts, just like the CWC. F1 is sharing their patent or whatever, and so I'm super interested in those too. God, if Phil has one of those, I may just go ahead and buy it. So I was out on my 8 meter last week, and the one thing that I totally noticed was the handles are just so soft. And so I know that they fixed that in the V3, but dude, for the light wind CWC wings, like, that's a great reason to have hard handles. I'm sorry all you F1 fans, the new handles are good, they're good, but like hard handles are good too. And it's all personal preference, but there's a lot of people on the F1 forums that like to call things perfect, and that's so annoying to me, because you're like, dude, just open your eyes, it's not perfect. So I don't know how I'm in traffic all of a sudden, but let's flip this around and go see what Phil's doing in his shop, kitesite.net. Here we go. Yes. We made it to West Dennis Beach. We scored 2 wings. We got the Vision 7 meter and we got the Strike CWC 7 meter. So we're gonna put these things back to back and do a test, and I couldn't be more excited. Let's go pump them up and see what they look like, right? This is what we got today. First impressions, 6.5 PSI. I don't know about that. That's gotta be more than 6.5, but that's what we're doing. Look at the difference on those struts. And this strut is totally straight, and that one's got some kinky strut going on. Let's look at the top of the canopy. Okay, so this video is step 1 on the quest for a new light wind wing. I've had an 8 meter Strike CWC for over a year now, and I don't know if it's a V1 or a V2. I think it's a V1, and I've been told before that the V2s made no significant changes except for colors, which, why even call it a V2? But it is what it is. I love my 8 meter, but there's gotta be improvements that can be made. My 8 meter doesn't get me out in those 8 knot winds that they list on their website, or at least I personally don't feel motivated to find a number that low. I can do like 12 miles an hour. So, for me, there's no point in doing anything lower. If I had like a ginormous foil and a more hydrodynamic board, like those new downwind boards, like maybe I could do it. But I know my gear, I know me, and I'm not really going to try in anything less than 12 miles an hour. I know how much pull I need to get up, and there's a point where I know it's just not worth the struggle. So I kind of thought I could get away with 7 meter this year. So my plan for the past few months was to go with this V3 CWC 7 meter, and I assumed it would be better than my current 8 meter. And then people kind of started moaning about the V3 CWCs. So now I'm totally curious. I kind of get the new pumping on the smaller V3s, so could I be the first to unlock the awesomeness of this wing on camera? I hope so. Okay, so then there's this Cabrinha Vision. My wing dealer Phil, he loves the Vision, so I figure it's worth trying before I make this ultimate light wind decision. So here I am. I'm on the Vision. Why the 7 meter? Well, that's what my wing dealer had. I really liked the Mantis, and from what I understand, it's a flatter wing compared to the Vision. The Vision has more dihedral, so the Strike CWC version 1 or 2 has a good amount of dihedral, and that again is just like a super easy, accessible wing. The things that I noticed about the Vision right off the bat: it definitely has a good amount of dihedral. The wingtips are big and boxy. The whole wing is kind of like a big rectangle. The handles are great. The front handle's a little longer than the back handle. They felt great. They're hard handles, but the grip on them is soft, but it's grippy. It's nice. The trailing edge and the canopy are pretty floppy, but it's a big wing. The windows are almost comically big. I was definitely looking through them a lot. I didn't mind that there were windows. It is what it is, but they were freaking big. They felt as big as my car's driver's side windows. The whole wing felt relatively light in general and pretty easy to throw around in a jibe, but it also had a nice, easy pull to it. The starts and the pumping were pretty good. It was straight pumping, and a little bit of like the scoop method seemed to generate the most power. I certainly tried like the new F1 flutter method. That did not work. I tried to get the wing to backwind and it resisted, so it doesn't really do that often. As I said, the wingtips seem really big and kind of fat, and they drag a little, but it's big and it's boxy wing that's kind of a little floppy, so it's just what it's gonna do. But I feel like my 5.5 meter Strike catches the wingtips more, especially in like lighter winds and ocean chop. And the upwind tacks are really nice, easy, smooth, nothing wrong with that. The whole wing feels light, but it also seems big, like size-wise for a 7 meter. Drift was fine, it was stable, but it was light wind, and I only made, a drift on 1 or 2 different attempts. The whole wing was smooth. I'm not sure if I preferred it over my old CWC, but the windows and the comfy hard handles were just a noteworthy changes that I totally dug. Alright, next is the 7 meter V3 CWC Strike. The things about this wing right off the bat: the handles seem bigger in diameter than the 5.5 that I have, and I want to say they're more round. My 5.5 has very squared off handles, but these are definitely stiffer, so they did address that. I pumped a good amount with the Vision in order to get it on foil, and then a lot of pumping with this one, and the larger grip was almost giving me forearm fatigue quickly. It's been months since I've had forearm fatigue, so I'm gonna say it was probably me, but it was noticeable and noteworthy from like holding a fatter handle. The flutter technique of pumping, I couldn't really get it to work. I think the wind, could have dropped like a mile per hour than from when I was out with the Vision. It was hard to tell, but I tried multiple methods of pumping, and the quick flutter technique that worked on the smaller V3 Strikes, that did not seem to be the method for this wing. I wanted it to, I tried hard. I think I could probably continue to try it, and maybe I could get better at it, but it was hard. I was tired. just trying over and over again. The scoop, or kind of like Cabbage Patch dance method, definitely seemed to work better. So it was difficult getting up, but once I was up, it felt like it had more power in my hands than the Vision did, which kind of makes sense because it's flatter and tighter, you know, and it should feel a little more powerful with a little more high performance. When I came around on a jibe, it happened to feel heavier, kind of moving it around, than the Vision did, which is a little weird because it does clock in at about a half a kilo less than the Vision. 3.13 kilograms versus 3.65 kilograms. That's from both of their websites. The weird thing is when I came around in upwind tack, the wind kind of pushed down. As I come around, I usually push my front hand forward and up a little bit. And then, you know, as I come around, I'll grab with my other hand and switch my grips. So as I came around and I pushed my arm forward and up a little bit, I would feel the wing push down. And that was definitely messing me up because as I would come around, I would go to grab my hand and it would not be in the place. It would be actively moving down where I go to grab the wing. And that was just, it was not something that I was used to. It's something I know I could get the hang of after a while, but in general, it was weird that it pushed down. If it had more dihedral, it probably would lift more. Since it's more flat, that's why it fell down more, but it was odd. And just for whatever it's worth, I did try to backwind this one too, and it didn't seem to backwind, but it did have this thing. So it's got a little bit of those backwind tendencies, but not while it's riding on the side, more when it's riding flat over your head. The wingtips on this definitely drag like the 5.5 meter, especially when trying to get going. It was pretty annoying. I definitely caught the wingtip a lot. I tried to flag it out a few times while I was pumping. It was stable. That was fine. Also, if that Vision was a 7 meter, the Strike felt like a 6.7. And then I laid them on top of each other after the session, and the Vision looks bigger. So I'm not really sure who has the real 7 meter, but my bet would be the Cab, and it just seems like that 7 meter Strike is a little less than what they say it is. So overall, this was a really interesting session. If I had to pick one, I prefer the CWC because it felt like a higher, tighter performance wing. But I would probably personally go for an 8 meter. But I'm not making that decision yet. As the title suggests, this is just a part 1 of some things that I have coming up. F1 is sending me an 8 meter CWC so I can try that back to back with my old V1 or V2 CWC. So I'm super interested to see how that's gonna work, and I can't wait to share my thoughts on those two back to back. I'm super stoked about that. Also going to be covering a Ventus in an upcoming video. So hopefully when I come out the other side of this whole process, I'm going to have a new light wing that is right for me. Stay tuned to find out what it's going to be. And with that, it's time to end this one. Thanks so much for watching, everyone. If you have not done so already and you want to see some more of my videos, please consider clicking that subscribe button. Drop a comment, let me know you're alive out there. Say hi, ask questions, let me know what you think about either the Vision or the new V3 CWCs if you've tried them. And with that, I hope all of you guys are doing well out there. I'll see you soon on the flip, and I wish you all an awesome day. Later!